Nick reached the top of Dinosaur Hill and searched the deserted park. "Mr. Fitzpatrick?" he called. Wind blew through the gnarled branches of an oak that had to be at least 100 years old. But the man he was supposed to meet was nowhere in sight. He shifted uncomfortably in his too large suit coat, clutched his briefcase, and shined his flashlight into the darkness. From the distance came a hoo, hoo that sounded like a kid doing a really bad owl imitation. Nick grimaced and swung his flashlight left and right. "Something's wrong," he muttered to himself. "There's no way Fitzpatrick would miss this meeting. Unless..." He looked up at the night sky, where a thick bank of clouds had just cleared away. Full moon. Something moved through the tall grass to his right, and Nick spun around, mouth dropping open. "No!" he screamed as a large gray creature with matted fur and a long pink tail leaped out of the grass and attacked him. Raising his briefcase, he managed to hit the creature in the head with a surprisingly loud clonk. The creature hissed, baring its long yellow fangs. "Fitzpatrick? Is that you?" Nick asked, circling to keep the beast in front of him. The monster bared its teeth again, red eyes flaring, and swiped Nick with its dirt-crusted claws. Nick clutched at his chest, and blood squeezed between his fingers. "Were-rat," he gasped. "Must get serum." He snapped open his briefcase and reached for a syringe filled with a liquid that looked a little like grape Kool-Aid. Before he could reach it, the were-rat was on him, scratching, biting, and even throwing a punch with one of its paws. "Ow!" Nick yelled as the were-rat's paw connected with his left ear. "That hurt." "It serves you right for hitting me with the briefcase," the giant rat shouted back. "That was for making the stupid owl noise," Nick said. "It sounded totally fake." "Cut." Angelo stepped out from behind his tripod and turned off his video camera. He put his hands on his hips and shook his head. "If you two keep ruining every scene, we're never going to get this movie finished in time for the contest." Carter pulled off his rat head. His face was sweaty, and his bright red hair was matted to his scalp from the rubber of the mask. He pulled the plastic fangs out of his mouth. "I like the owl. It makes the scene more creepy." "It makes the scene more lame," Nick said. He turned to Angelo. "Tell him he sounded like a kid trying to hoot." "Maybe we could edit in a real owl," Angelo suggested. He flipped open his monster notebook and scribbled a reminder to himself. Carter tugged at the thick gray mittens the boys had changed into rat paws. "Are you sure we have to do the whole giant rat thing? A werewolf or a killer lizard would be so much cooler." "And done about 1,000 times, Nick snorted. "Dude, we've been over this. It's a tribute to the Princess Bride." "An homage," Angelo added, never afraid to use big words. "To the rodents of unusual size from the fire swamp." "I know that." Carter fanned himself and began removing the pieces of his costume. "It's just that Nick gets to be Mr. Fraley, the hero, and you get to be the director. But in the credits, I'm only listed as were-rat. It's totally unfair." "You're also Mr. Fitzpatrick, Larry the Mad Butcher, and Girl in Haunted House with Toilet Plunger," Angelo said. "That's more parts than anyone else." Carter rolled his eyes. "A mad scientist, a guy who sells infected sausage, a rat, and a girl. Woo-hoo." "Well, time to call it a night," Angelo said. He unscrewed his camera from the tripod and packed it carefully in its case. "Have you given any more thought to how we are going to tie our film into the